Chapter 1 ArchGate Studios. Mario was walking down the hall with a stack of papers when she passed by the break room of ArchGate Studios. She stopped in her tracks, hearing two voices raised in heated discussion. A guy and a girl were arguing over song lyrics, clearly frustrated with each other. "I'm telling you, running down the lane makes no sense. It doesn't fit the melody at all," the guy exclaimed, throwing his hands up in exasperation. "Are you serious? It's a metaphor. It adds depth to the song," the girl shot back, her voice rising in intensity. "You're just being stubborn because you want to keep it simple." Mariah wasn't normally one to get into confrontation, but their argument seemed urgent enough to warrant her taking a peek inside the room to see what was happening. Mariah had a ponytail of brownish blonde hair that fell elegantly to the nape of her neck. Stray strands framed her face, but she wore them carefreely. In the sunlight, her hair shimmered with golden bronze tones, her hazel eyes sparkled with warmth, and she was dressed in a crisp white button-up shirt paired with black pants and suspenders, creating a striking and stylish appearance. Mariah paused just outside the door, her hand resting lightly on the cool metal handle, peering into the break room. The break room starkly contrasted most of the studio with its hard-tiled floors gleaming under the fluorescent lights. The glossy tiles mirrored the brightness, giving the space an almost sterile feeling. Sturdy hardwood doors closed off the room from the bustling corridors, offering a slight sense of privacy usually exclusive in the studio. The plain navy wallpaper enveloped the room, creating an intimate but somewhat claustrophobic atmosphere. A small round table sat in the center, surrounded by mismatched chairs that added a touch of character to the otherwise simple decor. A coffee machine hummed quietly in the corner, its surface cluttered with mugs and a half-opened box of granola bars. Posters of past projects decorated the walls, adding splashes of color against the dark navy, but they couldn't fully mask the feeling of confinement. The air held a faint scent of freshly brewed coffee and very stale snacks, making it clear that this place was for quick breaks rather than extreme relaxation. Overall, the break room felt like a tiny island of respite amidst the busy chaos of this studio. Maria looked over to see who was making the noise and saw two employees who she hadn't memorized their names yet. "Hey, I don't mean to interrupt, but I think the A&R division can hear you," Maria told them in a quiet but yet loud enough voice for them to hear her. The two employees stopped arguing and looked over at her. They seemed to be from the music department, though Mariah couldn't be certain. Almost everyone looked the same around here. If I can hear you from the art department side of the building, the A&R division can probably hear you." So she's quite right. You're being a little too loud. If I have to say so myself without getting the music director involved. If you know what I mean, Michael and Amy. Someone from behind Maria added. Maria turned around and saw Audrey, an old friend of hers. It was hard not to forget who Audrey was. She was the daughter of Joey Drew, the man behind the little devil everyone adored so much. Audrey had brown hair, almost the color of milk chocolate, and pale gray eyes. Almost like a sky, but with a few clouds in it. She wore a white shirt with slightly puffy sleeves, black pants, and shoes. "Now, how about you stop just arguing over the lyrics and get to actually writing?" because I doubt Jason Harris would be very pleased to figure out that you just wasted all of your time arguing. Maria had no idea how Audrey remembered her name so easily, but she was glad that Audrey was there so she wouldn't make a fool of herself. You know, Audrey, if you spent as much time drawing frames as you do playing the role of the hall monitor, maybe we wouldn't be in this mess, Michael muttered, crossing his arms. Yeah, well, it's not like we're the ones wasting time here, Amy added, rolling her eyes before catching sight of Audrey's unimpressed expression. With a sigh, Michael nodded toward to Amy, and they both knew it was time to get back to work. Fine, fine. We'll go write the lyrics. Just don't take it too seriously, okay? He said begrudgingly as they made their way out of the break room, not wanting to face the wrath of their music director, Jason Harris. Audrey looked over at Mariah and raised an eyebrow. Are you going to stand there, Mir, or are you going to walk inside? Audrey asked, and Mariah quickly realized that she was probably in the way of Audrey, so she quickly moved out of her way and walked into the break room, Audrey following close behind before going to the coffee machine. Hey, sorry about that, Odds. I didn't realize you needed to be in here, Mariah said, running her hand through her hair, glancing it down with a sheepish grin. Awkward vibes lingered, but she couldn't help but chuckle. Honestly, you kinda saved me from asking for their names again for, what, the 10th time? Oh my gosh, it's been that many? Audrey laughed, pouring water into the kettle. What, 2 weeks at this job? Or maybe 3? It's not that bad, you only just got started, right? Mara rolled her eyes playfully. Feels like the 100th time. Everyone looks so similar. You're the only one I can tell apart, she said, nudging Audrey teasingly. And you've been here for, what, a century now? 3 years, thank you very much. Audrey shot back with a mock serious expression, smiling as she placed the kettle onto the burner. Okay, 3 years. But still, you're the only lifeline in this place, Mariah conceded, adding with a shiver, other than Wilson. He gives me the heebie-jeebies, like, seriously. Audrey nodded vigorously, her eyes widening. Right, he is unsettling, to say the least. I don't know how you can work with him, just no, she said, shaking her head as the kettle began to sputter. Exactly! Mariah giggled, feeling a little more at ease. Well, I guess I should let you get back to your 100 frames. I'll try not to distract you too much. I've got some papers to deliver to... What's his name? The music director? Jason Harris? Audrey chimed in, trying to suppress a grin. Yeah, him. I need to drop off some papers for the music department, Mara replied, tightening her grip on the documents. Honestly, what would I ever do without you, Odds? Probably forget every single name in the studio in the first 5 seconds, then have to awkwardly reintroduce yourself, Audrey teased, putting the AeroPress on her mug and adding the coffee grounds with a flourish. Yep, that sounds about right. Mara laughed, the friendly banter making her day just a little brighter. Alright, I'll take these papers to him and then clock out. Have an awesome weekend, Audrey. Audrey smiled warmly, wishing her friend a fantastic weekend. As Maria headed towards the door, Audrey resumed making her coffee making routine, feeling grateful for a moment like this.